Hey everyone! The fun of the Ghost Girl costume is beginning. So today we have started looking at some fabric, Avery and I. And as you can see, we've got a few colors going on. We've got some white, some bright pink with some teal spider web, and then we've also got a little bit of purple with spider web and that beautiful little aqua color, as well as those wings. We're going to decide if we're including those or not, but that'll be something a little more transparent. So let's get right into it. I've pulled up a few different websites that I do like to look at. And so first I just have this example from Target, which is a super cute option, but I still want to make it better. But as you can see, they kind of made this a shiny textured material, which is something I'm still trying to find, that shiny textured purple. And it looks like they kind of printed the pink on the sides of the costume, and then they have a pink insert on the sleeve as well as around the hood area that has those more aqua webs on them, the aqua stripes, and that's about it. Let's see how it's shoes. Yeah, we don't need shoes. We need a full cover. We need to do this right. All right, so that gives you an example of sort of how they put it together. But now what we want to do is first go over here to Spoonflower. So this is a really fun website that I do like to use sometimes because they allow you to have user-based prints on top of whatever type of fabric you want. So in this particular occasion, I'm looking at sport lycra. It's going to be stretchy, it's going to be fairly soft, but also durable. And I have a feeling once I finish this costume, she is going to be wanting to wear it every single day for a little while. So I want it to hold up if I'm going to put all this effort in. So as you can see, two different users created two different patterns. So I'm thinking the first one is really good for those sleeve pieces, and perhaps I could do the hood with it, but that's why I was also looking at the second option, because if we go here, you can see how the first is really a repeat pattern. This one is going to be bigger circles. So this is going to create that kind of inside out look that I want on the inner part of the hood. So I think this might be a really good option for it. My only drawback when I'm doing these printed ones is, let's see if I can find a picture for you, but when you have it printed onto white fabric, yep, just here, as you can see, the edges are white. So what this tells me is that since they're printing onto that white fabric, if I stretch this fabric at all, you're going to start to see white peeking out of it. I'm not planning on making it a super tight costume, so it's not as big of a concern, but if I was to be making something that was skin tight, when you move and stretch the fabric, it's going to have that white color popping through. So that's why I want to maybe avoid this and think about other options if I want to make sure that that white's not popping through where it shouldn't. So that I will evaluate a little further as we go along. So a couple more things I want to show you real quick. This is if I want to be a little more intense superhero feel. So I was looking for fabrics that would give me vibes of basically superhero kind of textured, extra special technology fabric, the way most superheroes go. So this one is kind of a hexagon imprinted scuba knit. So it's a thicker based spandex. It will have some stretch to it. And also this texture, which I thought was really cool, the hexagons. I think I've seen with other costumes, things like rectangles or diamonds or other patterns that kind of fit together and make it look a little bit scaly or a little bit like whatever creature or superpower they might have. So I thought this would be a cool addition. It's obviously beyond the scope of her little amazing spider friends situation, but I thought it would give it a little more authenticity. So they do that in white. They also have it in black, which looks super cool as well. So if anyone's looking for that kind of effect, but for a black costume, that's also available. This is Mood Fabrics. The drawback here is it takes $150 worth of an order for free shipping. They do offer some discounts in terms of your first order and whatnot, but still, that's going to be a steep order. Otherwise, you're just paying shipping, which I'm trying to bundle things together, so I'm only having to place one, maybe two orders from different places. So now going back to colors. So if I wanted to go a little more simple, I absolutely love Spandex House. I lived in New York City for a long time and was in here with almost every project I ever did. So as you can see on this particular screen, this is their milliskin mat, which is basically a four-way stretch knit fabric. They come in solid matte fabrics or solid shiny fabrics, so I could decide either way. On this screen, I was looking for my purple. So the Spidey girl is a really deep purple. So I like the fact that they show these cards on their site just because you can start to compare colors. So you can see the full range of the purples that they offer. And then also on the other side, you're seeing some of those blues that are available. And I think that Seafoam number 42 is going to be really close to what I want. So if we look in the cart, you can see how it's really kind of hard to tell the difference in tone just from the picture of some of these fabrics. I put a bunch of them in there that I thought would be close. But when you look at them side by side on this card, you can start to tell which color is closer to what you actually want. So we have one other page here with some pinks you can look at. So again, this gives me a really good idea of my different tones of pink I have as options. So if I wanted to make sure that my pink is a lot closer to what I am envisioning, here I can see the range side by side. Of course, you could always order this card for yourself, but it's $15 and then there's shipping costs, and I don't believe there's a way out of the shipping costs with this particular retailer. But I order from them enough that it usually just makes sense to order it all at the same time. And their stuff is great quality, so I always go back. So this was another great one that I saw. And then there's this one here by MJ Trends that somebody actually went and made a Spider-Man kind of Venom type costume out of it. Super cool. So that was super inspirational to me. And I'm going to see what I can do about using that idea, but for her costume. So I might have to go back to that white kind of imprinted spandex that I found, which is not quite as cool as this black one. But if somebody wanted to do a Miles Morales type costume or a Venom costume, this is legit. All right, well, thanks for watching today. And if you have any questions or want more information from me on where I found any of this stuff, shoot me a message, make a comment. Either way, I'd be happy to get back to you and we can talk fabric. See you later.